Welcome. My name is Mary Link, and I am the Special Projects Director for the Greenfield Public Schools. I'm also a social change activist, like many of you in the room, and who has sung along and been supported for decades by the music we are about to hear tonight. I'm honored to be here tonight officially on behalf of the Superintendent of Schools, who was sorry not to be here herself, and the entire school district to give People's Music Network and all of you our warmest welcome here in Greenfield and at the Greenfield Schools. The superintendent wanted me to let you know a little bit about the ways that we support music and the arts here. We maintain a commitment to the arts, including string lessons at the elementary level, choral and band opportunities, and a rich offering in the visual and performing arts. The Greenfield Public Schools are staunch defenders of the importance of the integrated arts. We believe that cultivating students' creative and expressive abilities, particularly in music, are essential skills that will serve them through their whole lives, as I'm sure that most of you have had music supporting you through your lives. Tonight's talented performers and all of you are living evidence of this inspiring, vital, lifelong role music plays in life, and music's magical ability to lift our spirits and to carry movements for social change forward. Thank you for coming. I'm also going to remind you to turn off your cell phones if they're still on. And as I turn the mic over to Charlie King, I just want to say enjoy the show and enjoy the whole weekend if you're here as part of PMN for the whole weekend. Thanks for coming.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of a lot of people who've worked much harder than I have on this event to this first part of a weekend of music and song. I hope that your presence here tonight also indicates we'll be seeing more of you as the weekend goes on. Whether or not that's true, I hope you're as excited as I am about the music that we're going to hear tonight. Some incredible performers, some of my favorite, and many of them rooted right here in the Happy Valley. Our first performer is a second generation People's Music Network member. I believe the first generation is here somewhere tonight. There you are. Yes, Ellen Grace. And I also know of Arjuna's work to keep this network moving because she and I served on the steering committee for a couple of terms. I highly recommend that if you want to get to know more about the People's Music Network. And Arjuna is a singer, a wonderful songwriter, a folk poet. She lives here in Greenfield. She lives in Solar Village, which means she has a very small carbon footprint, and is herself a source of renewable energy. So please welcome Arjuna Grace.
Thank you. All right, let's kick things off with a little manifesta, shall we? Normal is hatred, and normal is greed. Normal is living beyond our means. Normal is the church, and normal is the steeple. Normal is profits over people. Normal is straight and male and white, getting pulled over if you don't look right. Normal is peacefully protesting silence till the cops come over and incite violence. Normal is a crackdown in the years of election on those bad girls who give decent normal men erections by mayors, chiefs, and congressmen Harry, Dick, and Tom, who it just so happens late last night were only known as John. Normal is screaming at a woman walking in, preaching damnation because somebody knocked her up, never knowing that her heart is torn, never giving a goddamn thing to the kids already born. Normal is a redwood forest seen in terms of paper. Normal is a child's laughter turning into vapor as she sews in a factory for like 9 cents a day, and somebody buys a t-shirt and thinks, 60 isn't much to pay, not for Gap, Guess, Tommy, Nike, Swish. Anyway, normal is animals who never feel the ground, fed through tubes in cages much too small to even turn around, bred to feed a constant need for over-consumption. Normal is apathy, arrogance, and assumption. Normal is Band-Aids instead of prevention, birth lying down because of doctors' pretension. Normal's not questioning the status quo. Normal is just the way it goes. Normal's more money for prisons than schools. Normal is using the master's tools, the line between church and state crumbling like sod. Normal is a pledge to this one nation under God. Normal is $10.50 for a movie with no plot. Just advertising pretty stars and not so special effects. Normal is incinerators, poisoning the have-nots. Normal is laws against having oral sex. Normal is a euphemism coming down the wire. Collateral damage, ethnic cleansing, friendly fire. Till we hardly even realize that war means people die. And nobody ever wins. Maybe grief and madness tie normal's testing lipstick in a rabbit's open eye, corporations telling their news media to lie. Normal's rape your wife, she has to honor and obey. Normal's being judged by how much you friggin' weigh. Normal is toxic waste and cigarettes. Normal is not cleaning up our mess. Normal is lies and hypocrisy. Normal is girls getting screwed but not wet. Normal is being controlled by fear, us versus them and you versus me. And I like to say that I've seen normal. And honey, I'd rather be queer. This is a little song I wrote while contemplating colonialism, old-fashioned and contemporary. It's called Mall of America, M-A-U-L. Last week I went out to the Mall of America with my friends Nina, Paula, and the Saintly Maria. We sailed through the oceans of SUVs and minivans. We cried out in triumph as we spotted the Land's End. We waded through the shallows of the entrance hall fountain, climbed up the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, planted our flag in the AstroTurf putting green, and claimed the land for Spain. The people all stared in shock and confusion from their crude-looking pizza and sunglasses huts. In all their days shopping at the primitive country craft store, they'd never seen anything quite like us. I told them I've got beads for your scrapbooking specialty shop, blankets for your baby gap, and there's no need to stress. All I want in return is New York and company. Damn, it feels good to pay less. Next we traveled up the Coldwater Creek, annexed the Old Navy, and filled our ranks over at J. Crew. Those who tried to stop us were sent to the Piercing Pagoda or the new and more profitable Body Shop. They cried out, "You can't do this, we're calling mall security." I said, "Don't you worry, here's some treaties, and I'll tell you what they say. I'm sure that you won't mind. They're in Hindi and Nepali. It makes sense in ironic, poetic justice kind of way. Timro amabahile mero no kara hununcha parivar koragata pasina vaganos kegarne jivan yastacha. Oh, I swear all that means is we will live in peace and harmony. We will be brothers, oh yes, we will be friends. Just ask your partners over at the Mystic Lake Casino. They will tell you that it all works out fine in the end. And as I claim more and more of my manifest destiny, I'm sure you'll all agree I deserve it more than you. 'Cause God and gold are on my side, and history will gladly hide the truth in favor of lies. Well, last week I went out to the Mall of America with my friends Nina, Paula, and the saintly Maria. We planted our flag in the AstroTurf putting green and claimed the land for Spain. Any UUs in the house? There's a couple. So I wrote this Unitarian Universalist, pagan Buddhist Jew, and wrote this as a spiritual challenge to respect the inherent worth and dignity of someone I find it hard to respect. I chose Mr. Fred Phelps of the Westboro Baptist Church. He has recently suffered off, Freudian slip there, shuffled off this mortal coil. And this might have happened. This is called Fred Phelps in Heaven. Thank you so much to you all for listening, and I'll be back up here yapping at you in the second act, introducing people, so you haven't seen the last of me. Fred Phelps in Heaven. Freddie opened his eyes, looked all around, seemed like the stars were coming down. He called out for Jesus, but he could not make a sound. The chorus sang out as he started to rise. Welcome to heaven, we're so glad you're here. We've been waiting to see you for so many years. We offer forgiveness for all that you've done and said. Do not try to speak, but open your heart and listen instead. And then she appeared in a heavenly glow. She soothed him and said, "You're scared, I know. It has always been fear that made you cause so much pain. But now that you're here, you can be happy again. 'Cause now you're in heaven. The reason's quite clear. All our lives we stood for love and freedom. And that's what we stand for here. We're the children who were thrown out for being gay. We're the ones who were silenced for what we had to say. But now we can forgive you, 'cause it's our heaven too." Freddie started to weep. She held him as he cried. He found he could only ask her why. "If I were you, having lived what I put you through, I would have damned me to hell for 1,000,000 years." She said, "Then you should be thankful heaven's not run by you, but by witches and feminists and queers." And now you're in heaven. Everybody, now you're in heaven. Now you're in heaven. Now you're in heaven.
Arjuna Grace, thank you. I think it was Abby Hoffman who said we can afford to be anything but boring. And our next performer, Peter Seagull, comes from Vermont and is anything but boring. He's been searching the roots of American music for years, pushing out the envelope of acoustic music, ranging across many genres. He's a skilled instrumentalist, a Grammy-winning artist, and I believe he's ready to perform. He is indeed. Please welcome Peter Seagull.
Oh, Charlie, now I have to live up to that introduction. I see so many people I know, and not just from PMN. The last PMN I was at was probably 10 years ago. And then, this is Greenfield, where I spent about 17 years playing at the dance down the street for David Kaner and people like that, and fiddle tunes. So here I am. I'm so excited to be here. I'm a little rusty on the standing in front of crowds singing by myself thing, because I usually have like 4 people in back of me with loud instruments, and so bear with me. Are you all happy to be here? I wrote the song when I was I was actually seeing Saving Private Ryan. Does anyone know what year that was? I can't remember. It was like 1993 or 2 or something. I went to see it all by myself because I had nothing else to do that night. I was in the suburbs and I needed something to do. And there was a lot of talk about war. This is before, terrorism was a topic and all those things were real topics for Americans. But someone said, oh, Steven Spielberg is bringing war to the attention of the American people by having this great movie. And I thought, that's just ridiculous. I love the movie. That was a great movie. It takes a film to move a nation. They say that's the way to revelation. Working for change is a mighty hard job when real life crisis won't move the mob. But a big old film with the blood just right will make a first-rate activist for about a night. That's bullshit. Bullshit smells. That's bullshit. But bullshit sells when our media cats stop treating us like rats and feed us the real news, not the worthless scraps. We'll have a republic of people, not rats, and we'll throw the fat cats out. So that was the chorus. It takes a 2-year-old girl to fall down the well to make that newsprint really sell. Working for change is a mighty hard job when only pretty faces will move the mob. Front page picture with the color set right will bring us up on the daily news tonight. Well, that's bullshit. Bullshit smell. That's but bullshit sells when the media cats stop treating us like rats and feed us the real news, not the worthless scraps. We'll have a republic of people, not rats, and we'll throw the fat cats out. Healthcare, welfare, people oppressed, but all that sells is a stain on a dress. Working for change is a mighty hard job when only scandal will move the mob. An affair that lasted for about a night will bring us up on the daily news tonight. Well, that's louder. Bullshit smells. That's but bullshit sells when the media cats stop treating us like rats and feed us the real news, not the worthless scraps. We'll have a republic of people, not rats, and we'll throw the fat cats out. Let's see if I can do this. That's because I forgot a verse. Ready? That's bullshit. Bullshit smells. That's bullshit. the bullshit sells when the media cats stop treating us like rats and feed us the real news, not the worthless scraps. We'll have a republic of people, not rats, and we'll throw the fat cats out. We'll throw the fat cats out. Thank you very much. All right, well, I came here woefully unprepared because I just, you know, you do 2 songs and you haven't done songs in front of people by yourself in years, and I just couldn't figure out what to do. And so I'm going to sing you a song that I do with the people that can't hear the last song because they're all the kids I teach up at an elementary school in Keene. I don't usually sing the bullshit song for them, but I did it. So a couple of years ago, I did an album. We do a lot of very. It's a public school, but we have a really fantastic social curriculum. I mean, really, that's what schools need. They need a sense of place and purpose and a really strong social curriculum. And my public school has it, and I am so proud of my school, Simon's School. So I got this grant to do a CD with all my kids, 350 kids, and I brought a recording devices in, recorded 1 class at a time, 3 classes, harmonizing, and it's really great. So if you see that CD out there with the peace symbol on it with 350 kids, that's it. I'm not trying to sell it, but this song is on it. And I kind of wrote this song for a play that I wrote about a salamander. And it's all about the radical idea of slowing down. You all know the story of the tortoise and hare. Fast don't matter if you're going somewhere. The tortoise was slow and the hare was fast. We all know who finished last. You got to slow down, you're gonna get to where you wanna be. You got to slow down, breathe and count to 1, 2, 3. If Jack and Jill had just slowed it down, poor old Jack would still have his crown. You got to slow down, oh, slow down, you're gonna get to where you wanna be. Sing it, you got to slow down, you're gonna get to where you want to be. You got to slow down, breathe and count to 1, 2, 3. If Humpty Dumpty had just chilled out, his shell and his yolk wouldn't be scattered about. You got to slow down, you're gonna get to where you wanna be. You got to slow, you're gonna get to where you want to be. You got to slow down, breathe and count to 1, 2, 3. Daring is fast and caring is slow. The ones who take their time are the ones who grow. You got to slow down, you got to slow down, you got to get to where you wanna be. Let me hear it. You got to slow, you're gonna get to where you want to be. You got to slow down, breathe and count to 1, 2, 3. Slow down, get to know your ABCs. Slow down, get to know your 1, 2, 3s. Slow down, like you're chopping wood. Slow down, get to know your neighborhood. Yeah, daring is fast, caring is slow. Slow down, you're gonna get to where you wanna be. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great rest of the weekend.
Peter Seagull. Thank you, Peter. Next performance is by Eventide. It's a hospice group that's directed by Joe Torito. And tonight they're singing a Rainy Arbo arrangement of Alfred Lord Tennyson's I beg your pardon? I stand corrected. They're singing an arrangement of Alfred Lord Tennyson's Crossing the Barn. And it was selected as a tribute to 4 very dear PMN members who passed in 2014. So we'd like to take a moment of silence to remember Pete Seeger, Karen Brando, Ray Corona, and Mayor Shevin.
Sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me. And may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. When I put out to sea. And may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. But such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound and foam, when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. Turns again home. Turns again home. When that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark. And may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. When I embark. When I embark. And may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. When I have crossed the bar. When I have crossed the bar. I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. When I have crossed the bar. When I have crossed the bar. I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Eventide. Very beautiful. Thank you so much. Our next performer is a world traveler with a voluminous knowledge of folk and jazz music from every corner. And even if you have not heard Annie Patterson perform, you know Annie Patterson because of her work to bring us the folk singer's Bible, Rise Up Singing. And as if that weren't enough, they're about to publish a follow-up edition to this called Rise Again, which we've all been eagerly awaiting. And tonight she's being joined by her life partner, the co-creator of these wonderful music books, the ever-appropriate Peter Blood. So please welcome Annie and Peter.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
If you want to know what that comment from Charlie meant, don't ask.
Anybody who knows Peter already knows what that comment's about. It's nice to see so many friendly faces tonight. We're so excited to be here and amongst this wonderful company. That was just gorgeous. That song just, oh my gosh. In our new songbook, Rise Again, we're going to have a whole chapter on comfort songs, threshold songs, songs for people that are going through transition, and that song will be in the new book. So when I got asked to sing tonight, it was requested that I sing a couple songs from my Mountainside CD. So this first one, I'm going to dedicate this one to my dad, who would have been 100 today if he was still alive. He grew up part of his teenage years in McConnellsburg, Pennsylvania. The Pattersons kind of married each other and lived on the mountains there, which explains a lot. At any rate, the farm that he grew up in was the site of the last bivouac. Do you remember the story behind that? The
Last time the Confederates had a bivouac north of the Mason-Dixon line. The last time the Confederates had a bivouac, a kind of a encampment north of the Mason-Dixon line, because this was in Pennsylvania.
So it's right on the Mason-Dixon line, and my family was part of the Northern Union boys, but they were right there, and so this song is called Spoon River. All of the riverboat gamblers losing their shirts. All of the brave Union soldier boys sleep in the dirt. But you know and I know there never is reason to hurt. When all of our lives were entwined to begin with, here in Spoon River. All of the calico dresses, the gingham and lace, are up in the attic with grandfather's Derringer case. There are words whispered down in the parlor, a shadowy face. Morning is heavy with one more beginning here in Spoon River. Come to the dance, Mary Perkins, I like you right well. The Union's preserved if you listen, you'll hear all the bells. There must be a heaven, God knows that I've seen mostly hell. My rig is outside, coming right through the morning, here in Spoon River. All of the riverboat gamblers are losing their shirt. And all of the brave Union soldier boys sleep in the day. You know and I know there never was reason to err. When all of our lives were entwined to begin with, here in Spoon River. Here in Spoon River. Here in Spoon River. All right, gee whiz. Thank you. So this is another song that's on my latest CD that I'm going to do here. And this is that last one was written by Michael Smith. This one's yeah. And this one's written by Seagull.
A lot of us in People's Music Network try to kind of combine doing organizing work informally with being musicians or some combination thereof. I think Cy Khan's one of the few people I know who's a full-time organizer and a musician, and does a pretty good job of it. If you haven't ever had a chance to see one of his concerts, it's an amazing experience.
So somebody was sort of joking with us. This new songbook we're working on is going to be a lot like Rise Up Singing, with 1,200 songs in it, just like Rise Up Singing has, but all different ones. So you can start spreading that rumor that that it's not a sequel. I mean, it's not an edition. It's not another edition. It's actually a whole new songbook. So we're excited to lead this workshop tomorrow afternoon. And I just wanted to say, if you want to check out the list of the songs that are going in, and a lot of folks that are here this weekend have their own songs that are going to be going in this book, including the most wonderful Charlie King. You can go on our website and see the whole list. It's listed there at riseupandsing.com.
.org?
I mean .org. Anyways, we have info out back at the tables there. So here's a little song called Gone, Gonna Rise Again. Gone, gonna rise again. Gone, gonna rise again. Gone, gonna rise again. I remember the year that my granddaddy died. Gone, gonna rise again. They dug his grave on the mountainside. Gone, gonna rise again. I was too young to understand the reason, the way he felt about the land, but I could read his history in his hands. Gone, gonna rise again. There's corn in the crib and apples in the bin. Gone, gonna rise again. And in the smokehouse and hot in the gin. Gone, gonna rise again. Cows in the barn and hides trees on the mountainside, gonna rise again. Planted the seeds just before he died, gonna rise again. I guess he knew he'd never see the red fruit hanging on a tree, but he planted the seeds for his children and me. High on a ridge above the farm, gonna rise again. Thinking about the people that have gone on, gonna rise again. Like a tree that grows in the mountain ground, the storms of life have cut him down. But the new wood springs from the roots underground, gonna rise again. 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 Thank you. Thank you so much.
Annie Patterson and Peter Blood. That was wonderful. Thrilling. If you're a member of the People's Music Network, you get to have your name in a directory that we put out, and part of the directory is you get to write a little self-description, a little biography of what you do as a performer or whatever it is you do. And my favorite one was a very short entry. It said, singer, songwriter, some typing, no shorthand. And I come from Shelburne Falls, where the landscape is littered with singers and songwriters, but one who stands out as a treasure for us is Sarah Purtle. And we cherish Sarah for her vision and her passion, and especially her ability to pass all of that on to the next generation. So please welcome Sarah Purtle.
I am so glad that I get to introduce to you Anari Barrett. Anari lives and breathes music. And she's going to be performing with her father, Toussaint Liberator, who's on drums. Let me tell you about the 3 songs she's going to do. She's going to start with 2 spirituals, Up Over My Head, and then Woke Up This Morning. And her 3rd song, Anari wrote. She sings all day long. Her song is called Fly Like a Dove. When she sang it at Journey Camp this summer, we couldn't stop singing. Please welcome Anari Barrett and Toussaint Liberator.
First, I would like to thank Sarah for letting everybody know about my song and letting me share it here. And so, yeah. Over my head, I hear freedom in the air. Over my head, I Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on freedom. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on freedom. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Sometimes people may try to bring you down, but you just gotta keep your head up proud, and you'll be fly like a dove, fly like a dove, fly like a dove, you'll be fly like a dove. Sometimes people may get in your way, but here's what I got to say. The only reason why people may bully you is because they're less than you, jealous of you, or they have a really, really tough life. But you'll still be fly like a dove, fly like a dove, fly like a dove. You'll be fly like a dove, fly like a dove, fly like a dove, fly like a dove. You'll be fly like a dove. If you're already high in the sky and you fall down, just make it right back up and you'll be fly like a dove, fly like a dove, fly like a dove. You'll be fly like a dove, fly like a dove, fly like a dove, fly like a dove. You'll be fly like a dove. If you're already high in the sky and you fall down, just make it right back up and you'll be fly like a dove, fly like a dove, fly like a dove. You'll be fly like a dove, fly like a dove, fly like a dove, fly like a dove. You'll be fly like a dove.
Anari Barrett. Last song written by Anari Barrett. Toussaint, you're going to stay, and Anari and also our next singer, Sophia, will be part of a workshop tomorrow called Girls' Voices Rising. So you can hear more of their songs tomorrow. Sophia Bau, we want to welcome you on stage. Please clap with me for Sophia. Sophia is here from Swampscott, and you'll be doing two pieces. The first is a song that's called One Day. You're welcome to sing on it. Matisyahu wrote it. And then you'll be doing a poem that you wrote. So Toussaint is here, and we've got Faith, and we also have Philip Alexander.
I'm going to interrupt for just 30 seconds here. It's a little bit urgent. There are at least 2 cars that are in danger of being towed because they're parked on a helicopter pad for the hospital. One is... Not funny if it's your car. One of them is a blue Ford Focus with the license plate 645 PNA, it looks like, or PNA or PN7, I'm not sure which. And the other is a silver Toyota with the license plate 46JFX9. Those need to be moved or they'll be moved for you.
Sometimes I lay beneath the moon and thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. And sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So my negativity surrounds. I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, oh, 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 one day, one day, one day, oh, oh, oh.
It's not about win or lose. We all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavements keep on moving, though the waters stay raging.
And in this maze you can lose your way, your way. And I drive you crazy, but don't let it faze you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, oh, 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 one day, one day, one day, one day this all will change. Treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like we are. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one you so much. Thank you to Faith on bass and my dad on guitar. To Sam on drums who just left. Ooh, sorry. All right. So this is my first year in high school this year, and already I've seen my classmates treating each other really, really badly, and it's led me to think about how much other people's words impact us and who we are. So I've put my thoughts into this poem entitled Sticks and Stones. In days of old, I have been told, she was a beauty queen. Admirers surrounding her, for friendship they were keen. In popularity, she had the better of the fight. There were chick flicks and outings and laughter in the night. Paint the backdrop pink and our killers take the stage. A breakup, lies to make up, social media outrage. Long fingernails to keyboard, they kept their weapons out of sight. And she read those harsh comments via whispers in the night. These unrelenting demons subjected her to such pain. She succumbed to relief through the bottle and the blade. And when society discovered that this girl was not all right, enter therapy and arguments and sobbing in the night. And now we wonder fearfully, how does this story end? In all honesty, dear bystander, I simply can't pretend. If she's ventured too far in the dark to now embrace the light, then what I fear most is silence in the night. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Even lower than that. Okay. So before I bring on Charlie to close out the first act, I want to say a couple things now before I forget them. First of all, how about that? Young women giving us hope for the future. I also want to draw your attention, if you haven't been looking at it already, to your program. I want to thank all of our sponsors, the people who have helped us make this possible, make the weekend possible, make the concert possible, and maybe take it home as a reference if you live, especially if you live in the area, and show your thanks by going to some of these great local businesses. So that's one thing. Another thing is to draw your attention to our summer gathering. If you're feeling a little chilly now, you want to gather again when it's a little warmer and you can sit out on the porch and strum your guitar. It's going to be June 5th through 7th of this year at a new location. We haven't changed locations in a while. It's going to be at Camp Echo in Bloomingburg, New York. So the info on that is on the back cover of your program tonight. And the third thing I wanted to say is that during intermission, there's going to be most of the musicians here have CDs, mailing lists, bumper stickers, all sorts of fun stuff. So there's a performer's table out there, and there's also a housing table, and another hat is one of the housing co-coordinators with my neighbor Lynn, and so if you have questions for us, one or both of us will be out there to make connections that way. So without further ado, my friend Charlie King, your friend Charlie King, he has been here from the beginning of PMN, one of the founders. And he is a storyteller, he is a singer, he's all these amazing things and more right here in Franklin County, Charlie King.
Let's sing a Pete Seeger song. Old age is golden, or though I've heard said, but still I wonder, as I crawl into bed, with my ears in a drawer, my teeth in a cup, my eyes on the table until I wake up. As sleep dims my vision, I say to myself, is there anything else I should put on the shelf? But though nations are warring and business is vexed, I still hang around to see what happens next. How do I know my youth is all spent? I get up and go, has got up and went. In spite of it all, I'm able to grin when I think of the places my get-up has been. When I was young, my slippers were red. I could kick up my heels right over my head. When I grew older, my slippers were blue, but still I could dance the whole night through. Now I am old and my slippers are black. I have to the store and I puff my way back. But never you laugh, I don't mind it at all. I'd rather be huffing than not puff at. How do I know? How do I know my youth is on? I get up and go, I get up and go, has got up. In spite of it all, in spite of it all, I'm able to grin when I think of the places my get-up has been. Pete wrote this when he was 52 years old. He had another 43 years to go. I get up each morning and dust off my wits, open the paper and read the obits. If I'm not there, I know I'm not dead, so I have a good breakfast and go back to bed. How do I know? How do I know my youth is get up and go? I get up and go, has got up, and when in spite of it all, I'm able to grin when I think of the places my get up has been. Thank you. Well, can you imagine a better collaboration than a melody by Pete Seeger and words by Yip Harburg? You can? Oh. I can't. And this song, I think, is proof of that. To make a long, long story terse, be it blessing, be it curse, the Lord designed this universe with built-in obsolescence. Each twinkling little star and sun enjoys its own atomic run, exploding when its time is done with cosmic incandescence. Astronomers predict someday our own sun will blaze away. There'll be a glorious display of sunburst helium masses. Our little planet Earth below will join the pyrotechnic show with blazing hydrogen aglow and thermonuclear gases. Thank God that great combustion day is several billion years away. So as philosophers all say, why fret, why fume, why worry? A jillion moons will wane and wax. Sit down, make up your income tax. Enjoy your life, be calm, relax, for God is in no hurry. But oh, my friends, I have a hunch mankind might beat God to a punch. I moved to Franklin County about 15 years ago, I guess, with my partner, Karen Brando. And one of the first things that we did after we arrived here is go with friends, Kate Stevens, John Hoffman, other folks I can't remember, down to the School of the Americas demonstration in Fort Benning, Georgia. Father Roy Bourgeois organized SOA Watch, commemorating the thousands of martyrs who have been killed by graduates of that school of assassins. And we formed a music collective about a dozen years ago to bring music. It's one of the singingest of all movements that I've ever been associated with. And there aren't that very many members of the music collective. They come and they go, but there's probably about 20 of us. And over the course of the last 10 years, 4 of our members have died. So we have a funeral procession on Sunday for the thousands and thousands of people who have perished. We read the names, as many as we have time for, and each time we read a name from the stage, or chant a name, I should say, people raise some symbol of mourning, and they chant all together, thousands of voices, presente, presente. And this year going down, thinking about not just all the people who have been victims of the School of Assassins, but also those members of the music collective that have passed. I wrote a song, and I wonder if you'd sing it, the chorus, with me. Chorus goes, Presente, we remember. Presente, you are here. Presente, we will carry on. Presente, presente, at least get the presente. Presente, we remember. Present, you are here. Presente, we'll carry on, we will carry on. Presente, presente. Again we gather at these gates to read the names of those who died. We lift our hands and raise our voices, cherishing their lives, we cry, Presente, we remember, Presente, you are here, Presente, we will carry on, Presente, presente. As children, we all learn the names of those to whom we owe a debt. But SOA has different rules, a school that wants us to forget. Presente, we remember. Presente, you are here. Presente, we will carry on. Presente, presente. Oscar Romero preached the word that Father Roy one night delivered. Rufina Maya told the truth till truth was flowing like a river. Presente, we remember. Presente, you are here. Presente, we will carry on. Presente, presente. Pete Seeger led us here in song. John Fromer singing at his side, where Karen Brando raised her voice, and Jolie Rickman sang and cried, Presente, we remember. Presente, you are here. Presente, we will carry on. Presente, presente, we remember. Presente, you are here. Presente, we will carry on. Presente, presente. We were gathered in New York City a year ago for this People's Music Weekend, and across across the river in Manhattan, Pete Seeger was dying at New York Presbyterian, I believe it was, and none of us knew that was going on, and so we came home to the news, and I'm sure many of you here have been part of those spontaneous Pete Seeger sing-alongs that followed his death. And I don't think I've ever been so aware of his presence. And New York Sloop Club invited me to come down and be part of many singers remembering Pete in New York. And this is a song based on a story that he used to tell about how change comes about in the world. Spoon of sand can tip the balance. Drops of water turn a mill. Way out here over the rainbow, someone standing, singing still. Spoon of sand. Spoon of sand can tip the balance, can tip the balance. Drops of water turn a mill, turn a mill. Way out here over the rainbow, someone standing, singing still. You weathered the storm, you finished the race. We see by the weary smile upon your face. You stumbled and you've risen. You sang up the dawn. You kindled the flame. You carried the torch. You're passing it on. Spoon of sand, tip the balance. Can tip the balance. Drops of water turn a mill. Turn a mill. Way out here over the rainbow, someone standing, singing still. Dark clouds on the mountain, dead fish on the shore, the bottom line bankers, the vultures of war. You turn and you face them, and when push comes to shove, somehow you believe hate has to surrender, surrounded by love. Spoon of sand can tip the balance. Drops of water turn a mill. Way out here over the rainbow, someone standing, singing still. You charted the course, saw the river run clear. You raised the sail when we thought the journey would end in despair. At the darkest hour, on the edge of the dawn, you caught the first light. You gave us the vision to carry it on. Spoon of sand can tip the balance. Drops of water turn the mill. Way out here over the rainbow, someone standing, singing still. Pete Seeger, presente. Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. So, we're only halfway through. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're only halfway through.